I like stuff that blows up, Ben. I like stuff that blows up a lot.
You can't tell.
Okay. So, and I came up with this idea of having grenades in Dungeons and Dragons. Everybody, even when I was a kid playing a D&D, everyone would light vials of oil and throw them and blow up the monsters and stuff. And I thought, well, gnomes are kind of building a bunch of stuff. Why can't they build some kind of wind-up explosive thing? I mean, that'd be kind of cool. So instead of using real grenades, I came up with gnome grenades. So I got a couple pages of these things. We'll send you some scans of that stuff. And I thought they could do all sorts of stuff, not just blow up, but some could be like magical that would blow up like spells.
That's really cool.
And I did play test a couple of these things in my D&D group for a couple of adventures. And unfortunately, everyone likes to fumble and throw the grenades right into the water. So no one's actually used the gnome grenade properly yet.
Because they keep rolling ones.
But they do work. Right. So I had this idea as kind of like one of these stick grenades where you wind it up. So you take it out, wind it up. So this takes a turn. Then you throw it, and that takes another turn. So it's 2 turns to use these things.
So they can be a little bit more powerful than like an alchemist fire or a vial of oil or something like that, because you have to waste a turn to cue this thing up.
Yeah, and also they're expensive. You don't just go in and buy, I'll take 40 of these and 22 of those. They're rare, and or you can hire someone to build one for you. I thought that would be kind of cool too.
Yeah.
And or if there's a dealer in them, they cost, ones that blow up cost and do a little bit of damage, not so expensive. Ones that do magical stuff, very expensive. And that'll be up probably to the dungeon master to decide, or maybe Ben, in your write-ups you could talk about.
I can definitely do that. Because there's mechanics in these games for, based on the spell effect.
Yeah.
Kind of like a potion or a wand or something like that.
Yeah, so I thought that'd be a lot of fun. And so far it is a lot of fun. But the players, they need to stop rolling ones.
So they can actually blow some monsters up.
So they can blow some monsters up with these things. So.
It would be funny, though. What if, there's the possibility that maybe you get, a dud?
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
Maybe there's, a 5% chance that this thing's going to blow up in your face, or, or not do what you want it to do, or do the opposite of what you want.
It just fizzes and smokes, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Like the fireworks that don't go off. Because it is medieval, right? Because this is a bit of a primitive, society to be making grenades, right?
Exactly.
Because that was still happening in, World War I. It still happens today, right?
It still happens today every once in a while, yeah.
Grenades don't go
off. The gun jams, you're like, uh-oh, we're in trouble.
Yeah. So
yeah, I like that
idea.
Fun
thing to include, you throw it and then you have to... Don't roll a 1.
Yeah, don't roll a 1.
And it goes off.
Ones are bad. It either doesn't go off or it goes off in your face.
Yeah, which is probably worse.
Yeah, exactly.
So what are you thinking for them to do? I like the idea that you wind them up and you throw them, and I like the idea of them being cost prohibitive, or at least you have to kind of pony up for them.
Yeah, rare, expensive, or both.
Yeah.
I think that because, you don't want to make it too powerful.
Yeah.
And if the characters have spent a couple of adventures massing amount of treasure, then they want something to spend their treasure on.
Yeah, and if it's if you're going to pick between I can get a magic sword or I can get 5 gnome grenades, then those gnome grenades have to be pretty good because you're trading a magic sword for them, right?
Yeah, because they're a one use only.
Yeah, because you don't get to keep them.
You don't get to throw your gnome grenade and eat it too.
So what kind of effects are you thinking?
I was
Probably
thinking,
definitely fire, cold.
Fire, cold, things like that. Also darkness. I thought it'd be cool.
Like a smoke grenade.
Yeah, like a smoke grenade, darkness, confusion, color mass or something like that. Yeah, something to distract or dazzle somebody. Maybe even like a sleep
like
gas.
A stun grenade.
Yeah, things like that. Yeah, gas, explosives, and magic spell power. I thought would be the cool things with the gnome grenades.
That's really awesome.
Thank you.
Would definitely Yeah, 'cause there's got to be some other really cool effects that we could put in there.
Yeah, I think so too.
That would
We can
work.
go through a spell chart and pick out and I'm area of effect spells, you know. Also, maybe things like, okay, this door ain't going to open. We can't kick it in. We'll wind this gnome grenade up, put it at the base of the door. We'll run, and boom, it'll blow open. Things like that too. I think that'd be fun.
That's cool, and it would have like a explosion radius.
Of X number of feet or yards, or
Do
for those people in the UK or listening to this, meters. Yeah.
My wife is from Brazil, and she doesn't like the English system of measurements of things. So I think it's hilarious. She doesn't think it's that funny, but I'm like, well, that's like 10,000 meters or something, right? Like, oh man, that's like 80 degrees Celsius, right?
Yeah.
I just always do wrong conversions.
Yeah,
And
I
it's
did the
just-
same thing. I was married to a Japanese for 12 years, and they had the metric system as well, and it was a little crazy in the house for a while.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I do just dramatically wrong measurements all the time. I think it's hilarious. It's like my stupid dad joke thing where like she's just like, it hasn't been funny for like 2 years now.
I think it's funny.
It's because you haven't been listening to the same joke for 12 years. But they're cool. The design is really cool.
Thank
They
you.
look like, they remind me of the World War II German stick grenades.
Yes, that's kind of what I based them on, and I like that. I like that design, and they're easy to carry. You can stuff a stick grenade in your belt,
Yeah.
or in a sash or something like that, and they're easily accessible. And also, the dungeon master should also know that these things are big,
Yeah.
so you can't carry like 20 of them,
Yeah.
type of thing, and they're bulky, but they're also easy to use. Anyone can use them. Fighters, magic users too. So I think it's a fun kind of a piece of equipment.
Should we think about rules for making them? So you can create
Yeah, we could come up with a creation thing. You would need certain skills to be able to build one.
And you need the spells to put into it.
Yeah, if you're doing spell ones.
Yeah.
So we'll come up with all that. Ben's going to come up with all
I'll
that
help with all
stuff.
that
Yeah. Okay.
It's my turn to work now.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Hello, everybody. We're back.
Hey, we're back, and we are done with gnome grenades.
We are completely done with gnome grenades, Ben. And here is a gnome grenade painting.
Yes.
I'll let you show everybody.
And I'm just seeing for the first time because
Yes.
you forgot to email it to me.
I forgot to email this to Ben.
They're very cool looking, though.
Yeah. I made these gnome grenades a little bit. I wanted to make some really fancy ones,
Yeah.
but I was running out of time, and so I had to bust these things out. And in the future, I think I'm going to make a real fancy one.
That'd be cool.
But
We could just do an update to the episode.
Yeah,
too,
we'll just
right?
do an update.
Yeah.
But not in the near future. In the near future, I have to bust out a whole bunch of other stuff.
Yeah, we're like halfway through about 14 other episodes right
Yes,
now. So.
exactly. So we're in the middle of creative thunderstorm.
Yes, we're working on all kinds of things. But I like these, right? Because we're going to have different types of gnome grenades, right? You're going to have ones that do very powerful spells, and you're going to have ones that just explode.
Yeah, they just blow up, or maybe do some fire damage or shrapnel damage, and also on these gnome grenades, I had these two where it's mostly a wooden body. And then this one is a metal one. This one's obviously some kind of fragmentation kind of one. So we have a mix of some pretty plain ones. And the magic ones will be fancier.
Yeah, glowy.
And a lot more expensive, too.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll do one fancy gnome grenade. I just don't know when then. But we'll let you guys know when we get them done.
Yeah. And then there's a second painting that we can't even show you because Brian sold it already.
Yeah, I had some insider trading going on, and so yeah, when it goes up on my Facebook page or the website, you won't be able to buy it because one of my art students came over, her and her husband, and they said, "Hey, what are you working on?" I said, "Hey, got some new Dungeon Mastery stuff. Look at this." And she picked it up and goes, "Honey, can I have this?" And of course, when girls do that, guys just go like, "Okay, honey, here's all my money." And so she bought it. And so I don't have it here, but we'll put it on screen for you. We'll put it up on a screen for you. You'll be able to see it, and me painting it.
Oh, you recorded your painting?
Yeah, I recorded that painting too.
It's very cool looking because it's a take on that, what you were saying last time, that German World War II.
Yeah, that classic German World War II picture of the guy throwing that potato masher grenade. So I took the photo off of a website, and I went, okay, let's put him in a suit of armor, some chainmail and stuff, and a winged helmet. And, you know, make it real classic old school D&D stuff. But he's got that stick grenade, so I thought that was fun.
Yeah, that was a very cool decision.
And I also, I also painted it in what I call Band of Brothers painting scheme. If you notice a painting, Ben, it's not really colorful. It's like muted colors, a little more tans and browns. And so what I did is I had to watch Band of Brothers again.
For research.
From start to finish, my research. So I just freeze framed some places where I thought, oh, this is the color scheme I want. So instead of doing because my color scheme sometimes kind of, it's cartoony at times. And I went, okay, I'm going to make this Band of Brothers schemes. I'm going to tone it down, and it's not going to be so flashy color. And I think it worked out really well. Yeah.
How do you kind of, I guess it makes sense that you would just kind of settle on like a color palette when you start to paint something.
Yeah, sometimes I do, and sometimes I don't know what the heck I'm doing. And I just like, hey! Or what I'll do is I'll pick up like a Frank Frazetta book, and I open it up, and he's like, hey, look at this, an orange sky and purple shadows. Looks good to me. That's what I'm going to be going with. So that's what I do. I let somebody else come up with a damn color. I'm too busy to do that. I got deadlines.
You're not a color theorist?
No. I'm a color swiper. Yeah, I steal other people's color schemes. I don't make them up myself. Yeah. So, but yeah. And that's how that went.
Awesome. Well, we came up with some cool ideas for what the grenades do.
Oh, excellent.
And generally, we came up with them being, you know, sometimes just explosives and sometimes somewhere between a first and a third level spell. And then you had a list that I went off for some of the starter bits. And you were like, okay.
I did? Yeah. I don't remember that part.
Yeah, you had a bunch. You had a few written.
I was
down.
busy panicking while I was painting the grenade pictures. I got it. Ben's like, I need those grenade pictures like quick.
Yeah, we got to do that video, man. We need something. we need some kind of finished art because we have 15 half finished episodes. Yeah, so I guess you gave yourself amnesia about it.
Yeah,
but
I
you
did.
Gave me some good ideas.
I amnesia'd myself. Yeah, but we got some good ideas. Well, what did we come up with?
So, basic explosives kind of stuff, right? The main elements: acid, fire, frost, lightning, maybe a poison gas.
Oh yeah, I remember that now.
And then you came up with dragon fire, which I think is going to function more of like it's like a Greek fire style, right? That
like kind of like what does the Game of Thrones had like that dragon fire? Yeah, the green kind of fire or some kind of magical colored fire that just does a whole bunch of nasty stuff.
Yeah, it does more damage. It's more like a fireball. Like everything else, I kind of used burning hands as the template for the damage that it would do, and then this one's like a fireball.
Oh yeah.
And like, you know, you maybe burn for a little bit after, and you can't put the fires out if you jump in the water.
Yeah, it burns till the fuel is gone, I guess, or something.
Yeah. Then there were the one's darkness, one's a light flash.
Oh yeah, the darkness one.
Yeah, one's smoke, like an obscuring mist kind of deal, or a fog cloud. And then the advanced version of that is like a stinking cloud. So it throws and it creates a smoke screen like a fog cloud would, but it's like choking if you go into it, like a poison gas kind of deal.
Yeah, I like that.
Then like we wanted to come up with some weird spells and things that could be involved with the gnome grenades because we didn't want it to just be an explosive. Like the explosives are cool, but like if you want to, what you were saying, painting the fancy ones, we want those fancy ones to do some fancy stuff. So we're trying to think of some cool spells that would work as like a grenade form. So entangling was one. You had one about venomous snakes. So I did it as you throw it and it explodes and it summons a D4 + 1 snakes that just
cool.
bite everything in the area.
Oh, yeah, that's, wow.
You're not in control of them, but you
Yeah.
throw them and it explodes, and there's snakes, and they just attack whatever's around. There was a sleep one. There was a confusion one,
Oh, I like that.
which is kind of powerful. There's a hold person one, which kind of paralyzes people.
Love that.
I had a healing one as an idea.
I didn't even think of anything like that.
It's a
I always
healing-
thought gnome grenades were going to be on the destructive side. But
Right, but-
That's a cool idea, man.
Right? Wouldn't it be like kind of fun to like throw like a, I don't know how this would work magic wise, but it's a cure light wounds,
Sure.
but you throw it. And
Everybody inside the blast area.
yeah. And the blast areas vary a little bit depending on the types of grenades, but they're generally just pretty small, like 10 feet diameter, or 10 foot radius or something, right? 20 feet across.
Yeah, and as a dungeon master, you can make them bigger or smaller depending on the size and power and
Sure, and you can like,
expense capability.
yeah, you could charge more money for them to be like an advanced version of it that increases the range or something like that.
Yeah.
And there were a couple other little bit weirder ones. One was see invisibility, which is a spell. So you throw it, and if anything's in that area, it's
Oh, I love that.
it's
too.
not invisible anymore.
Yeah.
It's covered in some kind of goo or dust or something that highlights it, so you
Yeah,
can see it. It's
excellent.
not invisible anymore. Had another one that was animate dead.
Oh, this
Throw
is
it,
awesome. I
it
didn't think
explodes. Everything in a 20-foot radius comes back to life. You threw the grenade. You're not in control of these things, but they're alive now. They're come back as zombies or skeletons or whatever. It works like the animate dead spell, but they get back up again and they just start attacking whatever's around
Oh,
them.
that's great. You see, this is why Ben gets paid the big bucks as a writer. He can come up with really cool ideas.
And then the last one I came up with was like a time dilation. So you throw it and it hits the ground and it explodes, and everything in that 20-foot square is counted as being slowed.
Oh, cool.
But it doesn't slow you, it slows that area. So when you're running through it, you're slowed for that 20 feet that you're running through it, and then when you're outside of it, you're not slowed anymore.
Excellent.
But it just kind
I
of
love
dilates
that
time
idea.
for that
Yeah,
in that small section.
that's excellent. And I don't know if we talked about this last time, but because gnome grenades are pretty powerful, I had an idea that you would have to pull them out and wind them up, and that would take one turn. And then you throw it.
Yeah.
And it's almost like a timer or turning on the fuse or something
Yeah.
like that.
And then,
So they take longer than a normal weapon would be. You pull it out and hit somebody. You have to prepare it a little bit.
yeah, you have to wind it up and throw it. And winding it up is a standard action, because like a lot of even potions and stuff, alchemist fire, stuff like that, you can uncork it as a move and then throw it as your act.
Oh, yeah.
But with this, your action
Yeah,
is to
you have to take
crank
a
it.
while.
You can run and crank it, but you can't.
Panic running crazy.
Yeah.
Oops, I fumbled it.
drop it,
No.
Oh, well, we talked about that last time too. Oh, I forgot one kind of grenade was the basically it's a flashbang, but I did it as it just functions like the color spray spell. So it kind of dazzles you. And
Yeah,
stuns
good
you a
idea.
little bit. And then I have a little bit of rules on how to create them in there. If you wanted to make your own, you have to be a gnome, but like you can do it. And it's expensive, and you have to have the right spells and equipment, and access to the right type of laboratory and stuff. But the other thing with these versus casting spells, right? Because in some levels, you can just give a first level fighter an ability that a 5th level wizard would have, right? And so there has to be a little bit of a downside here, and the downside is that when you throw it, you make an attack like you do with any kind of thrown weapon. And if you get a 1, I've put a little chart in there for all the things that can go wrong.
Oh, this is great.
1 is just kind of, you drop it, and you can make like a reflex save to jump away from it, but whatever's going to happen is going to happen right on top of you. One of them is, it just blows up right in your hands. Like the grenade malfunctions and just explodes.
Like a Bugs Bunny cartoon.
Yeah.
Bang!
Yep.
I love it.
One is, it's just a dud, and you throw it, and it just hits the ground, and it doesn't go off.
Oh, that's great, too. I love that idea.
Like a firework that doesn't shoot.
Yeah.
And then the other ones are just, it goes off in a random direction, and you use there's rules for like which direction it misses. Yeah, so
Excellent.
you have a better chance of it just missing wildly, but there's a chance that a few really bad things can happen.
Yes, I have a
And you're out your 500 gold or whatever it costs you to buy it.
So I introduced gnome grenades to my D&D adventure, and one of the characters was on a boat, and she was going to throw it onto these group of orcs or something on the end of this island or something like that. She's going to blow them all up. She gets the most powerful one, right? She spent, I just had her spend disgusting amounts of money on this. So she winds it up, fumble, and it just goes right to the bottom. And I said, well, you can see it going down into the water, and bye-bye. 650 gold pieces. Have a nice day.
If you got a net, you can scoop out dinner.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, fish floating up to the top. Hey, we're eating sushi tonight.
No, kill a sea monster.
Yeah. Bad news is the orcs are shooting crossbows at us, so we're in trouble. Yeah. So
now the sea monsters, and now the giant squid's real mad at you.
yeah, and the look on her face was priceless. I wish I would have had a camera ready to go on that too. And that one came up. Oh, it's genius. So yeah.
But anyway, that's Gnome Grenades, and you can download the PDF at our website, and we'll
Yeah, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Yes.
Yes. And we'll see you guys next time. Thank you very much.
Yeah. See you guys
Bye-bye.
next time.